At FAIR, we are a 12-step facility. But I need to explain exactly what that means because there are misconceptions about the 12 steps. The first thing you hear when you think of the 12 step is, oh, I got to be an alcoholic, because that's the first thing it said. We are powerless over alcohol. No, the 12 steps actually incorporates addictions, disorders, and emotional dysregulation. So we have 12 steps for gambling. We have 12 steps for shoplifting. We have 12 steps for nicotine. We even have a 12-step program for sex and love. So if you have a particular problem with something, chances are we can find a 12-step group for you. And that's what we really like to focus on. So if you have depression and anxiety, do you know that there's a group for that? It's called Emotions Anonymous. And instead of the word alcohol at the top, it says we're powerless over our emotions and that our lives still have become unmanageable because of the emotions. Another misconception we have is when the 12 steps talks about a higher power, everybody assumes that you need to be a Christian in order to be in group and you need to accept it as God. No, the simple fact of the 12 steps is that when you come into the program, you usually like to be your own higher power. And what the 12 steps is trying to say is it has to be somebody greater than you that is control of things, because you've done a pretty lousy job of controlling things so far. So why don't you give it up? So a great cliche that is associated with the 12 steps, let go, let God. But that God can be whatever you want it to be. You decide that. They're just kind of identifying it for you. So we can use the 12 steps for, like I said, ADHD. God grant me the space between the thoughts that I have and the actions that I do. One of the things that I really like is the 10th step, is we go through the steps. I think this is the one that parents seem to like with our adolescents and young adults, because when we were wrong, promptly admit it. Okay, how many times were you able to say, yeah, you know what, I screwed up, I was wrong? Doesn't happen often, but the 12 steps has you work on being able to admit your mistakes, being able to talk about your errors, and then moving on from it. The other most important step is we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Everybody needs to do this. This is why the 12 steps is so great. All these steps talk about working on yourself and working on your character defects. The only steps that mentions drugs or alcohol or what the problem is the first step. Everything else is working on yourself and then giving back. So as a result of these steps, we're going to carry the message to others who suffer. Giving back. Searching yourself and giving back. That's the essence of the 12 steps.